Hey y'all, we back. All right, so I'm just gonna jump in. July 6, 2001. Dear Journal. Well, today is my mom's birthday. Of course, as always, I've been bored out of my motherfucking mind. You know what I forgot to mention on the 4th? Was that I was looking over my old notes. I threw all of them out. I wish I didn't do that because there's certain things I like to hold on to. And I love to purge. Believe me, I was just doing that shit yesterday. But I wish I never did that. So I threw all of them out except for my love letters, which I think I ended up throwing those out too, or I lost them because I used to have this Little Mermaid jewelry box where I used to hold all of my ticket stubs and all of my notes. Because again, your girl is old as fuck. So that's how we communicated. We used to pass notes. So yeah, I don't think I have any of those anymore. I still have a few notes from high school. Maybe one day I'll read them. I don't know. We'll see. I was especially looking over the ones Ezekiel used to write me when we were involved, even though I dogged him a lot. I don't think I used that word correctly. I don't think I knew what that meant at the time, but whatever. I gotta admit that there were feelings that, what? There were feelings there, whether I want to believe it or not. Okay. I can't believe me like a dumbass kept calling Sean's stupid ass today after I said I wasn't gonna call him. Clearly, your girl has no self-restraint. Talking about he gonna call me back. That ninja ain't do shit. Again, I don't say that anymore. I think I stopped saying this once I got to 9th grade. Yeah. And disclaimer, not justifying this shit, but if you're from New York, you kind of know, like, I feel like the lines get blurred between like the Hispanic kids and the black kids, and then we say a lot of the same shit and stuff. But like to this day, ever since I moved back to Long Island, it's like cringy. Like, you know, I've been hanging out with some people and like I noticed that they still say it like back in the day. And I chose to stop saying that shit. I don't care if it's in a song. I don't care what the fuck it is. That's not my place. I don't say that shit. I don't know. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there. Let's see. Okay. So I said talking about he was gonna call me back. That ninja ain't do shit. That's what I get for being a boba. So boba means like kind of like, I guess like, how do you translate that? A boba is kind of like a sucker, like kind of like being like a sucker. Being alone, that's the best thing for me right now. I'm so fed up with my job. I swear I thought I was just gonna scream out, I quit, which is not too far off from what I actually did when I did quit. It's like your girl was manifesting this whole shit. But I'm not gonna quit till I find a better job. Wow, I actually spoke to, what should I call this girl? Because remember, I am changing people's names. I'm kind of tongue-tied right now. Oh, let's call her Janet. So, wow, I actually spoke to Janet last night, but not for long. We were never really that tight anyways. So this was a childhood friend. And it's funny that I said that because, and that's the thing too, for the longest time, I really struggled with calling people my friend because to me, obviously I didn't understand that at the time, but thinking back, I think that me calling somebody my friend made me feel extremely vulnerable because that's like putting my trust in that person, and it's like, oh, like I, you know, like you're my friend. I have to like basically depend on you in some way, that you're gonna show up and you're not gonna abandon me. So I think I was very particular about that word. My best friend to this day will tell you the same shit about how when we first became friends. So but again, me talking about this girl, she was like one of the only ones that really like kept in contact with me. Like we actually talked and shit, and she ended up inviting me. Shit. When did I leave? So I left Jersey in '98. She invited me like 17 years later to like this reunion, and I forget why I didn't go, but to this day I kick myself that I didn't go. I really wish that I did. But yeah, she's one of the only people that I kept in contact with. So it's funny, like me saying like we were never really tight. Bullshit. You know. Anyway, I was gonna invite Sean to the movies tomorrow, but now I'm not sure if that's a good idea. You know what keeps running through my mind? The fact that I'm going to high school next year. God, the years are going by. Shut your 14-year-old ass up. God, the years are going by so quick. But I'm not sure I wanted to. Yeah, I guess that's most people. I'm sort of afraid of the fact that I'm growing up, and quickly I feel like a trapped child in a growing teen's body. Interesting. Which says a lot, because that's a lot of what I've been having to process now. Yeah. You don't really, I feel like it doesn't really truly hit you until like different points in your life, especially once you're like 30 and up. And then you start realizing like, oh my God, all that damage, all the things. And even when there were times in my 20s, I thought I'd resolved this, I've gotten through it. No. Like, you're always gonna have to be working on that shit, because that's like the like crucial developmental years, you know? So, oh boy. That sentence really took me away from my concentration. All right. I feel as though my childhood wasn't fulfilling. I didn't know how to spell that word correctly, but it wasn't fulfilling enough, because I didn't really have one. I didn't really have much of a childhood. Like, I wasn't allowed to do not a goddamn thing. I feel like I was on lockdown in every way. Like, even when I got to high school, like if I even joined a sport or club, my mom was always like, why are you always trying to do stuff? You always trying. And then like, if like once my track season ended, it's like, why didn't you tell me when you had a game? Meanwhile, like, I bet you if it was one of my brothers, she would have been all on it. She would have been there. But with me, it was like, yeah, I don't know, bullshit. Like, it was taken away from me, and I couldn't fulfill it enough. Yeah, and I heard something recently that really struck me, and the person said something like you were born an adult. And it's funny, it was like this random video I was watching, and I said that, and that shit hit me like a ton of bricks, because I was like, yo, that's genuinely how I feel. Like, you know, I couldn't do stuff with friends. Like, Hispanics, we all know, no sleepovers, ever. That's not even a thing. I couldn't hang out at friends' houses. There was only one friend I was allowed to go to, but it was only because usually like my mom had stuff to do, and she had like somewhat of a relationship with the mother, but that was it. Like, I couldn't really do not a goddamn thing. Couldn't hang out. I couldn't join sports, couldn't join any activities. I would go to work with my mom. She would clean houses. I'd be like in a room, and I'd be cleaning the room. And I guess we could talk about that more in a separate conversation, but yeah, no. And then always having to translate, and then if you do it wrong, you're gonna get your ass beat. Like, yeah, so yeah, that shit took me back. But I had to face the reality in the world. I have to become responsible over me, my life, and my education, and just grow up. That's a lot, bro. That's like a lot of pressure to be putting on myself. Although I'm still considering the possibilities of graduating in 3 years, but people do say high school years are the best years of your life. If that's the case, and a lot of people really, to this day, you could tell, like, they still kind of, like, you see shit on Facebook and the way that they talk, and like, you could tell, like, that's how they feel, and that's so sad to me. Like, that is not the best time of my life. Now, were there things I wish I could have redone? Were there like some good moments? I'd say so, but there were a lot of things where I was too, like, I don't know, I'm making up a word, too adultified, and I couldn't enjoy being a kid. you know. And so I think high school could have been a much better experience for me, but I didn't have the support. I didn't have the support. And high school was not that type of experience for me. Not in the least, not in the slightest. Which if I do continue this for the rest of the year, we're gonna really find out how shit shifts as soon as I go into high school. So this is like 2 months after this. And it happened like just like that, like just that fast. Damn, I didn't think I was gonna like get all in the weeds with this one. Fuck. Okay. And it's so funny. I didn't know I was thinking about graduating high school in 3 years. And the funny thing is, I think I could have and I should have been in AP classes, but my mom never advocated for me. Like my high school best friend, which we're still best friends now, but she's my childhood friend, best friend. And, you know, she would tell me stories about how like her parents, even though they didn't speak English, like they advocated for her. And I was like, yo, thank God, like you're so lucky. I'm like, that's awesome, because I remember she didn't struggle in school as much as I did. And to this day, I still pick her up. I'm like, I remember, like, I used to look up to you because I felt like school was just, everything was so difficult for me at every turn. And I just thought that was impressive, because I sure as fuck didn't have that. And like, it got to the point, I didn't even show my mom my report card. It was just like, yo, like, mind your business. Like, this is, you know, because to me, it didn't really seem like she was that interested anyway. So I basically just did what I had to do to get by, and that was that. So, yeah, but I wish I had that experience to have taken like more advanced courses. And it's possible at the time I might have been struggling with like ADHD, which I have heard before that could be tied to childhood trauma. Because I was like, I love to learn. I was like a really smart kid. I got stuff fast. That's the only reason I was able to get through high school, was because I was always able to get it together just in time, you know. But if I had that TLC, if I had that advocacy, that support, that love, like, my God, your girl would have been taking on the fucking world. But okay, interesting. I had no idea that I wrote that I wanted to graduate high school early. Isn't that interesting? Which kind of would have made sense too, because I had mentioned previously, I started school technically like a year late compared to New York, because in Jersey they had different cutoff points. I missed the cutoff point, my birthday, and so I was like held back a year. But if I had started in New York, I would have graduated in 2004 and not 2005. So it made sense, because I always like was like, oh, I'm the oldest one, but then I would have been the youngest one, so whatever. Rant over. Okay, maybe I should just do 4 years to discover myself and see what the future holds for me. See, there's some hope. There's some hope. Well, that's all for tonight. My thought keeper. Till then. Look at that. Your girl's coming back tomorrow. Shit. I got some little golden nuggets about me today, because I didn't think this was, I try not to read these beforehand, and I try not to re-record if I can. So I guess I kind of got lucky with this one that I didn't remember. So okay, cool. So I will be back tomorrow, and you know, probably gonna go see my mom later for her birthday. All right, y'all. Peace.